Let's head down the Anarchist into Osoyoos and then up the Richter Pass and over the roller coaster. This video is brought to you by Sutco Transportation, now hiring Super B wood chip and Super B flat deck drivers in BC's Lower Mainland, the Okanagan, and the Kootenays. To apply, go to sutco.ca, use promo code QUANFAN, and put me down as a reference on your application, and get an extra $100 on your payday as well. That way they know I sent you, and if I get any kind of bonus, I'll tip you guys some of that bonus back towards you. Well, good morning. If Jess would be here, she'd say good afternoon. Some motorcycle behind us. There we go. No, it's double solid, but I'm sure they're eager to get going. So I am on the road. It is Wednesday, September 21st. It is 2:44 p.m. 22 degrees Celsius. Quite nice and warm today. Now, having said that, I do still have an oil leak. A fairly bad oil leak. So, after yesterday, I kept checking, and eventually I pulled over. I'm like, oh, there's oil starting to leak over here. I'm starting to see where it's coming out of. It's on the driver's side up front of the engine somewhere. I'm just going to head over to our shop in Thelmo and spend the night there and get them to look at it in the morning. See if they can figure it out. They once again cleaned everything. The whole bottom of the engine's been nice and clean twice now. Once again they said, idled it for 45 minutes and no leaks anywhere. They're like, well, we can't find where the leak is, so I guess you might as well head out. Just keep an eye out on it, take pictures, and then try to figure out where that leak is. They've also made an appointment for me to have it looked at on Friday, not necessarily fixed, but to have it at least diagnosed so they can order the right parts. So Friday afternoon I'm supposed to bring it into the Penticton shop. I know I was supposed to have some mixed backhaul to deliver Friday morning in the Kootenays and then reload, head back home. So I sent dispatch an email going, hey, if you want me in on Friday in Penticton, whatever the backhaul is, has to be a simple one drop, get it done first thing in the morning, reload, and then head back this way. So we'll see what my backhaul will be tomorrow. But I'm leaking a significant amount of oil, enough that I'm going to have to add oil before the end of the day. Put it on my DVIR. And it's not the big sploosh of oil that I got yesterday in Revelstoke, because it's not getting sprayed everywhere. It's less. So whatever the mechanic, because the mechanic in Revelstoke went and tightened a whole bunch of stuff, went with a wrench, just trying to snug everything up. So whatever he snugged up made the leak a lot less. Like a lot less. So something that he snugged up is the problem. So I'm guessing there's probably a seal or a gasket somewhere that's leaking fluid. But I'm no mechanic. I just drive the truck. I try to do my best to pay attention to all the warning signs and stuff. Do my pre-trips and listen, and at least if there is something wrong, inform people that they know that there's something wrong. And they've learned to trust me when I say there's something wrong with the truck. There's something wrong with the truck. They learned that lesson the hard way. Very, very hard way. But how do you know if this is just another whiny truck driver complaining about everything wrong with his truck versus someone that actually, like, there's actually something wrong? Because truck drivers always like to blame everything on dispatch, and how dispatch doesn't have a clue what's going on. Sometimes that's true, but they've also got to deal with a whole bunch of idiot truck drivers. Just because you're not one of the idiot truck drivers doesn't mean they have to deal with these idiot truck drivers. I've seen enough YouTube videos out there. There's a lot of idiot truck drivers out there, so give your dispatch a little bit of leeway there. They've got to deal with a lot of idiots in the day. And not just truck drivers, chippers and receivers and all that stuff too. But yeah, I blew an engine one time when I told them, it's like, hey, getting a bunch of white smoke coming out of the exhaust. Probably shouldn't run it, and I'm using a lot of coolant. They're like, well, finish this delivery and we'll get you a shop. Like, are you sure? Because I'm losing a lot of coolant. Yeah, that engine ended up getting rebuilt. Crankshaft replaced. Some of you guys might remember that. It's a couple of years ago. I think that was the International Pro Star. It wasn't long after that I switched over to the Peterbilt for a year or so. I just love this descent. It's just so beautiful. Today's Wednesday, and for some reason it feels like a Monday to me. It's been a weird week. I guess Jess picked the right week to stay at home. We're only an hour away from home right now. Unfortunately, we're just driving by. If you guys are new to this channel, I run Highway 3 a lot, so expect to see a lot of Highway 3 videos on this channel. Luckily, Highway 3 is quite diverse, and we get to kind of spread out what we see. Because 2.5 weeks ago, we came down here in the dark. It occurred to me that if I don't start recording a video here soon, we'll be in the dark again. Winter is coming. It feels weird seeing that lake with hardly any boats, but I guess back to school and all of that. Well, school's been on for a while now, but tourists have kind of gone away. Now I am coming down this hill at full speed limit. If you're new to trucking, I do not recommend coming down this hill at full speed limit. Last time my brother and I were here on motorbike, he goes, "You must come down here at what, 40, 50 kilometers an hour?" It depends. Today's a full speed limit day. I am quite light. I am tall. I'm legally maxed right to my legal height, but not heavy. It's all these glue lamp panels with dunnage between them, so half the load is air. Welcome to Osoyoos. There's a fly in here and it's really irritating me. We did go to that KFC on the weekend and had or met Ghost Bear at the KFC there. Some of you guys might recognize Ghost Bear on the live chat. That's the first time I've tried a Canadian KFC in years because I hate Canadian KFC, and it's like, there's a brand new KFC here, let's try it out. It's been a long time. It's gross. Just not good food. Like, American KFCs are so much better. The coleslaw in Canada is like just a blended mush and flavor is gross. US coleslaw, KFC is just good. Chicken in the US, good. Canada, yeah, it felt just weird. It was gross chicken, it wasn't good. Even the gravy and fries weren't great. And then the mashed potatoes came in this small, tiny little cup. In the US, you get a big, like a bowl for full of potatoes. Here, you get a tiny little cup of it, like a dipping cup. What is this? It's like, yeah, this is why we don't eat at Canadian KFCs ever. Gave them another chance. Big thumbs down. US KFCs? Awesome. I love US KFCs. Good thing most US KFCs don't have space for a truck to pull over, or else I'd be pulling over and having KFC all the time. Coming into downtown Osoyoos. If you guys want to know where Spotted Lake is and how to get there, stay tuned. We're headed that way. If you guys saw that video last weekend, headed to Spotted Lake. You can't go down to the lake. It is private, or I guess, yeah, native property, and you can't go down there, but there's two viewpoints you can view it from. One is by the gate, and the other one's just a little bit further down from the gate. I can smell oil. Must have dripped onto the exhaust. I know I said I'm light, but up a steep hill like this and stopping is still some hard work. I was thinking, I do love our dispatch. Every single time they've given me a load that doesn't make sense or could work it better if we did it a different way, all I do is send them an email and go, hey, what do you guys think if we did this instead? 99% of the time they say yeah, they just respond right away, go, yes, let's go with your idea. Because a good friend of mine deals with dispatch and stuff as well, while helping running a company. Sometimes they're so overwhelmed with stuff, they don't see better ways of doing things. So if all of a sudden you as a driver have an idea, hey, why are we doing things the way we are? Feel free to call your dispatch and go, wouldn't this be better? If you work for a good company, they will say yes at least some of the time. If they always say no to your idea, either you work for a really bad company or your ideas suck. One or the other. I know people always say that, hey, working for this smaller company, it's like working with family, and I don't like that. Whenever someone goes, we're a family here, we all get along. I don't like that term. I think we are treated better than family. Because family does stuff for free. Not to say I don't do stuff for free for Sunco. In fact, just a couple of days ago, I reinstalled that light for free. I do a bunch of stuff on the truck for free. But I would say Sunco, I'm really, really lucky to work for a company that actually treats you with respect. And I love the diversity we have in our company. Bobtailing. That's one of our trucks, one of the Sunco 25-year anniversary trucks. Where's your trailer, bud? Climbing Richter Pass. Spot of the lake just a little way up ahead. Also, that mountain right in front of us, that summit up there, really easy to get up there, and it's a beautiful view of the whole valley. If you're ever in the area, drive to the top of that mountain. Any small little car can make up there. The road is a little rough, and it's a seasonal road. You only want to go during the summer. So take your time to go up there. I can easily get up there within half an hour, but I'd say for most people, give yourself an hour to get up to the top. And then the hike to the summit from the parking lot is half a kilometer. It is some fairly steep sections, so it's not very mobility friendly. But it's a very short hike. Take your time. If you're able to do hikes, it is well worth it. If you can't hike, you can drive almost to the top, and there's some beautiful viewpoints right from the road where you don't have to hike at all. Well worth driving up there. We try to go up there once a year at least. I do drive up it pretty aggressively. catching up with some crushed cars. I'm gonna guess that it's Scrap King, but we'll know soon enough. Might not be able to pass him here before Spotted Lake, but we'll see. That's how fast he speeds up once we make the crest here. So Spotted Lake will be on the left-hand side here. You blink, you miss it. We might be able to, I forgot there's this little straightaway here still, so we might be able to pass them before Spotted Lake. Old Richter Pass Road. It's a dead end. Ignore that road. There's a bunch of pickups crushed in there. I see GMC, Ford. Old cars in there and pickups. Some newer stuff. Not Scrap King at all. Alright, what's wrong? And here you see that gate up front. That's Spotted Lake right here on the left-hand side. And another viewpoint is right. You'll miss it here if you're not careful. Right here. There's this tiny little road going off into there. There's another viewpoint there. I'd say it's actually the better viewpoint. Alright, so here as we hit the summit, if you want to drive to the top of that mountain, Mount Kobo, Mount Cobo, you want to stay in this lane. Don't merge to the left. Stay in the right lane. Exit right over here. There's actually a sign here about Spotted Lake that we just passed. Go up that road. You will see signs on there that say private property, no trespassing. In British Columbia, that means the land beside the road is private property. You're not allowed to leave the road. Feel free to drive down that road guilt-free. That is a public easement to access Mount Cobo. So just because it says private property, no trespassing, all those signs mean is you're not allowed to leave the road. You're not allowed to stop and go hiking on the trails until you're actually up in the park at the top. Also, watch out for cows. The private property is open range land. And you can tell people, trust me, a YouTuber said that you're legally allowed to go up that road. If you have any questions, just ask local authorities. Because you can legally drive up there. There's a lot of places like that in here in BC that you have those signs. And it's not an issue. If you're actually not allowed to go up, it's probably going to have a gate that's locked up. Which we have quite a bit here too. In that case, you're probably not allowed to go up. But even then, there's some places where you have a locked gate where you're legally allowed to go up. Just you're not allowed to take a vehicle, you're allowed to hike. Call this section the roller coaster because we climbed the huge hill just like a roller coaster, and then now we go down and it's just one hill after another hill after another hill, and every hill gets a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller until you fade out into Coston. And to answer your question, yes, all those fences over here on the left-hand side, cattle fences, are made out of car tires. With just a bunch of car tires stacked on top of each other. Yeah, car tire fences. Why not? I guess if you work for a car or a tire place, you have all these old garbage tires, make a fence out of it for your cows. Sure could use a bit of rain over here. Everything is still very, very, very golden. But for the most part, in our area, forest fires are pretty much under control. You can see a little bit of haze But the forest fires are kind of under control in our area, part of the world here. Everything to the left is in the US of A. We're right along the US border. Well, I guess that's the truth anytime we're running along Highway 3. Highway 3 pretty much runs along the US border. But here we're really, really close to the border. Nighthawk border crossing over here. Lots of vineyards in the area here, just like the Okanagan. Smilkameen has a lot of vineyards and orchards. Here's the sign that says rare intersection. Nighthawk, USA. Customs open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This road needs to be resurfaced. It's a bit rough. Learned my lesson the hard way. I guess maybe the lucky way because I didn't end up in the ditch. Take your time going over this last little bump here because she's a little doozy on this roller coaster. The black lines might agree with that. Steep downhill with a nice tight corner here, a lot tighter than it feels. Oh, that was the remnants of fire on the shoulder there. I wonder if a car didn't make the corner. Caught on fire. I always like the viewpoint we get from every single one of these summits. they're still irrigating their alfalfa and grass down there, so I think they want to get at least one more cutting in before fall. It's Milkameen River beside us here. Baling down there, little square bales. Trestle bridge down there still. Not a train trestle bridge. I think that bridge is always built for cars. Because it kind of just goes into the side of the mountain. The train wouldn't be able to climb that mountain. Not really a mountain, but that hill. Well, Ian, I was worried about all the bug splats on the front-facing camera. So far, only one or two videos have had a bug that splatted that camera, so I think that forward-facing camera, the roof cam, has been quite successful. I kind of like that camera. As winter's coming, that camera will be useless, but we're gonna keep using that as often as we can. Even in the winter, we might even use it sometimes when the weather's half decent, even if we get 10 minutes of video out of it before it gets splattered in snow and muck. For those of you guys that don't know who Ian is, he's a YouTube member. He's hit that join button down below and has supported us for quite a while. And he'd probably want me to remind you guys that these videos are all in 4K. go hit that little gear box on the YouTubes and change your video quality up to 4K and have much clearer video. I think you guys always have the best ideas. Oh! This is the road. Where's this? I almost forgot. Whew! Okay, you guys ready? Gotta say hi. I once again will have a message on my Facebook within minutes saying hi back. Curdy Ranch. Did a live stream coming through here a couple of weeks ago, and you were actually standing outside and they were waving back. So if I drive past your place, let me know if you want me to honk at you. Some of you guys have done that and then promptly ignored the honk when I came by your place. If you want me to keep honking at your place, I better get some kind of feedback. Just like I heard ya. Also, if you don't want to give me your personal information, exactly where you live, don't bother. I can't honk if you don't tell me exactly where you live. I can't honk unless you tell me exactly where to honk. Had those begging me to honk every time I drive by their place, but won't tell me exactly where to honk. It's one or the other. Coming into fruit stand land. We stopped at a fruit stand on Friday last week. We drove in the pickup. You guys watched that video last Friday. Jess went and bought a bunch of fruit. Beautiful, beautiful valley through here. Smoky-Mead Valley coming up into Costin here. We started the video a little too early to get up into Keremeos, but you guys have seen Keremeos lots of times too. If not, just search Keremeos in my name and you should be able to find those videos driving through there. Maybe we'll make it there in 10 minutes. Got 10 minutes of video left. How far is Keremeos away from Costin? Let's make it into town, maybe? We'll see. We'll see! Oh, look at that old car on the left-hand side. Wow. That looks like original. It's not been rebuilt. It is rusted out, old, and wow. I don't know what it was. It's got to be a Model T, right? Or old Ford, either way. One of the old original Fords. Dead skunk. You guys sure you guys don't want to smell what we smell? Oh, it just hit me hard. Holy. Oh, did that hit hard. Whoo! Oh! Yeah, she's fresh. Oh, she's fresh. Whew. Whew. That'll clear out the sinus. Wow. Keremeos is just over that little hill. I guess they call it the upper bench. Those apples, at least some of them, just vibrant red. Better start picking. Let me guess, this pickup was going 10 kilometers below the speed limit. Now that the speed limit's reducing, they're just going to pull away from us. Of course, now that I open my mouth, that's not going to actually happen. Welcome to Keremeos. Once they go in the opposite direction, I won't be stuck behind them anymore. There we go. Oh, smelling oil again. Must have dripped a couple of drops on the exhaust again. Don't worry, I'll pull over after the video ends and we'll check. Make sure we're not low on oil yet. Make sure we don't have a gusher yet. But inside the truck I have a gauge that shows me oil pressure. If that gauge all of a sudden drops, I just have to stop. Pretty sure if that gauge drops, I'll also get all sorts of lights and warning chimes inside the truck as well.
Continue on 7th
Keremeos. I think we'll call it a day here. The Ranch Family Restaurant, or Family Dining. Might have to try them out sometime. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this trip as much as I always do. It's one of those more scenic, beautiful drives because the mountains and the valley, it just works every time. It's one of those valleys that always looks good on TV. And if you guys are new to the channel and think 5 videos a week is too many, come check out my Reddit. Also just my name, Juan_Rempel. There should be a link on the top of YouTube here as well. And I'll post one video every weekend, what I deemed was my favorite video of the week. You only have to watch one video a week if that's what you're into. If you don't think 5 videos a week is enough, hit that join button down below for 99 cents Canadian a month. You get an extra video every Saturday. Last weekend I was a little late on getting that video out because my computer was having issues rendering, but you'll get an extra video every weekend. And for the rest of you, thank you so much for watching. I guess also the rest, everybody, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Without you guys, I couldn't be buying better cameras and better microphones and all of that stuff to make better videos. So you guys are paying for this. Just go back to my first original videos. Yeah, we've gotten better. Thanks to you guys. I really appreciate it. I am out of here. You guys rock.